Pokemon Platinum is one of those fan-favorite Pokemon games for many reasons, with one of those reasons being all of the cool Pokemon you can catch in Platinum like Shinx, Weasel, Garchomp, and of course Cherubi, the coolest of them all. Well, what if I tried to beat Pokemon Platinum without catching any of these cool Pokemon, or without catching any Pokemon at all? I remember doing this challenge a very long time ago, and the first time I ever played through Pokemon Platinum version back in around 2010 or so, that was when I did this very same challenge. This of course limits our pool of usable Pokemon to only gift Pokemon that are given to us throughout the game, as we don't have to catch these gift Pokemon. This isn't so much of a challenge in the sense that it's too difficult or anything like that, but more so that it's an alternate way to play the game that will cause us to think outside the box in order to hammer away at our foes. Make sure you guys like the video if you want to support the channel, as it helps me a ton, and also consider subscribing for more Pokemon videos since we're so close to that 100,000 subscriber milestone. And now let's try to beat Pokemon Platinum without catching any Pokemon. So starting off, I named myself C and named my rival Twitch because I've been streaming on Twitch more and you should follow me over there and, well, roll the thing.
If you love PaPaSea, you'll love PaPaSea Extra. This new channel is for the most epic Twitch highlights from the PaPaSea Twitch channel, both of which will be linked in the description. Come watch some of the best Nuzlockers in the world with me, from the most epic gamer ever. It's so poggers! So come join me over at the PaPaSea Twitch channel and the PaPaSea Extra channel. I'll be waiting. Ooh.
We eventually make our way to the starter selection screen, which is a rather important decision since it will be the only Pokemon that we can use for a little while. All three of the starter options have their own benefits and drawbacks, but I decide on picking Piplup since it's good for the first gym as it's a rock type gym, it gets Peck for the second gym which is a grass type gym, and can also learn Surf, which we will need later on. I know that most challenges like this allow you to use HM slaves to make going through the game a bit easier, but seeing as the whole point of this video is to not catch any Pokemon at all, getting an HM slave would of course require catching something, and I'm going to try to avoid this as much as possible. If we get into a situation where I absolutely need to catch something for a specific HM, I will do it, but I really want to avoid it. Once we make it over to the township of Sand Gem Town, I decide to nickname our trusty Piplup Pittsburgh, and Rowan asks us to help him fill out the Pokedex, which I say no to of course, since I won't be catching anything through this playthrough. He just keeps asking no matter how many times I say no, so I am forced to say yes, but I hope you know, Rowan, that I won't be fulfilling your wish at all, and I'm not going to be catching anything. Next, I say goodbye to my mother, then Dawn foolishly teaches us how to catch a Pokemon even though we can't catch anything. She gives us some Pokeballs, which I just toss out immediately, and then we go into Jubilife City where we have to find some clowns to get the Pokédex, go see the trainer school, and then have a rival battle against Twitch right outside the town, which took a long time because its Turtwig kept spamming withdrawals, so after about 20 turns or so, we come up on top. In Oreburgh City, we are greeted by this youngster who calls our rival Twitchy, which is very fitting as his name is Twitch of course. And now we have to go into the mines of Oreburgh City to find Rorik and challenge him in the very first gym fight. This is a rock type gym and we have a water type Piplup at level 15, so you would think that this would be an easy victory, especially since we have access to a water type move in Bubble now, but I somehow messed that up since Cranidos was way too strong and does too much damage with its headbutt attack, knocking out my Piplup. I even got to level 16 during this gym battle fight and didn't end up evolving because apparently your Pokemon don't evolve if you white out, so I trained to level 17 in the nearby mine so we can finally evolve into Prinplup and take care of that Cranidos a bit easier, giving us the first gym badge in this Pokemon Platinum run. If I struggled against this gym while we had the type advantage, I wonder what the next gym will be like, especially when we have the type disadvantage as it's a grass type gym. Now we have to head back through Jubilife City, dispatch Team Galactic, then dispatch Team Galactic again in the Valley Windworks near Floroma Town, and eventually make it into Eterna City. After we get our second gym badge here and clear out Team Galactic, we can also get our second Pokemon in a Togepi. Togepi would be great if we could get it before the second gym, since it would evolve into a flying type Pokemon Togetic for the grass type gym. At this point, I start to realize that maybe Piplup wasn't the best starter option for this challenge, and I keep losing this gym fight since grass type moves would do about half damage or so to me even when I was level 33 and I couldn't defeat the gym after a couple of attempts. I eventually just decide to over level like crazy, Get to level 36, we evolve into Empoleon, and now we can take on grass type moves much better than before, and 2 to 3 shot her entire team with Peck, giving us the second gym badge. Now we have to go into the nearby Team Galactic hideout where we find Looker, who is hiding out as a Team Galactic grunt, save the bike guy, and meet Cynthia in front of the bike shop where she gives us an egg that will hatch into a Togepi. With that, we finally have a second Pokemon to add to our team, although after the egg hatches, and I name it Bart after Bart Simpson, I realized that Togepi doesn't really get that many good offensive moves, is only at level 1, and evolves via friendship into Togetic, which could take a little while. So although we can finally have a second Pokemon on our team, it will still be at least a little while before we can have a second usable Pokemon on our team. I decided to switch train it as much as possible along the next route in the bike trail anyway. Then I proceed into the nearby town and on the way meet Cyrus in the cave. I'm only pointing this part of the game out because I thought this small part of the game looked so much better than the rest of the game and looked better than what I remember this part looking like in Diamond and Pearl. Maybe it's just me, or maybe it's the lighting here, or maybe because I was playing this part of the game when I was a little bit sick and was a little bit out of it. But I eventually make it into Hearthome City, or maybe it's Hearthome City. I'm not really sure because no matter how I say it, somebody's gonna say I'm saying it wrong, and then somebody else is gonna say no, I'm saying it right. But typically in English, when you see an H next to a T, it makes a th sound like the word the. I'm not sure if my mic picks up the TH sound, which is why I'm specifying the word the. But then again, what do I know? I'm just some random guy on YouTube who writes a lot of words in Microsoft Word, and I'm not an English professor. The first thing we have to do in this town, though, is go to the contest hall to meet our mother and the gym leader, Fantina. They changed the orders of the gyms in Platinum a bit compared to Diamond and Pearl, bringing Fantina up a little bit. And since my Empoleon is wildly over-leveled, I switch train Bart through the entire gym, even against Fantina herself, to get the third gym badge, and unfortunately Bart still doesn't evolve at this point, despite being in the early to mid 20s by now. As I exit the gym, I decide to check out Amity Square to walk around with Togepi a bit to possibly boost its happiness or something, and despite Togepi being the lead of my party and being a relatively cute Pokemon, at least in my opinion, the game made me go through Amity Square with Empoleon instead, which I didn't even realize you could bring into Amity Square. I'm not saying Empoleon's ugly or anything, but I always remembered they only allowed you going in here with small and cute Pokemon, and Empoleon isn't exactly small. As I proceed towards Elysian Town, yet another town that I have no idea if I'm saying right or not, we meet our rival, Twitch, again for a rival battle that I continue to switch train Bart on for the victory, and it still hasn't evolved yet. Once in Elysian Town, I train up a bit against some of the nearby trainers, and even get into an honor battle with another Togepi that we win thanks to Metronome giving us funny attacks like Dragon Pulse and Water Spout. I know that somewhere around here we get a Shiny Stone too, so I should probably figure out where that is, so that way when Togepi finally does evolve, we can evolve it again into Togekiss, which is actually a really good Pokemon. Here I decide to check out the next route to find the Shiny Stone, realize that it's behind the Psyducks blocking half of the route, so we have to go back here later to get it. And I also remembered that we could have received an Eevee back in Hearthome City, so I backtrack over there to pick it up and name it Wes. I plan on evolving it into Espeon, yet another friendship evolution unfortunately, and then make our way over to Veilstone while focusing our friendship efforts on Togepi for now until it evolves to Togetic so we can stop doing an Empoleon solo run. In Veilstone, we get another Pokemon we can use in Porygon, which I named Vista. It has download and learned some pretty cool moves, however since it evolves via trade we can't evolve it at all. It does have Psybeam though, which is pretty good for the next fighting type gym, although it is also a normal type Pokemon which isn't that great against fighting types in general. I then focus on evolving Togepi so we can use it against the next gym, so I give it a massage, give it some medicine and some Poffins, and get the Friendship Checker Pokédex app so we can check its friendship levels, and finally it evolves into Togetic. It still has pretty much no usable moves though, and still doesn't learn any for a while, so I go to the department store and teach it Fire Blast, and figure once we get the HM for Fly after beating Maylene, it'll be able to contribute to the team much more with 2 pretty good attacks. But for now I'm better off on focusing on using Porygon against the gym, especially since Eevee is going to be very far off from evolving into Espeon. I did notice that there is a move tutor we could have access to teach Air Cutter to Bart, however it requires that we use shards in exchange for learning the moves, which I don't have, So after grinding up the team a little bit, I just head into Maylene's gym without going for the shards. I lead with West against Maylene and then immediately switch into Empoleon so West could get some friendship points. Then after knocking out her Meditite, I go into Vista on her Machoke to knock it out with Psybeam, finally having another Pokemon besides Empoleon knock out a gym trainer's Pokemon. On her ace Pokemon Lucario, I go to Togetic and only do about half damage with Fire Blast, then get knocked out, so I have to go into Empoleon and hammer away at Lucario for our 4th gym badge, making this an actual team effort since all 4 of our team members were actually in this battle. I then bolt on over to Pastoria City and stand behind this weird little facehole sign where a Krogunk randomly appears, looks at us, then walks into the Great Marsh. I don't remember that being in Diamond and Pearl, and I've played Diamond and Pearl much more than I've played Platinum, but after that I go in front of the gym for another rival fight against Twitch yet again, and now we actually have more than one usable Pokemon, so I don't have to rely on Empoleon as much here and we get the victory. I grind up the team a bit more after the rival fight, except for Empoleon of course, since I realized that my team was pretty underleveled compared to the rival and will definitely need some more levels for the gym leader Crasher Wake and his water type Pokemon. I taught Shockwave to Porygon and Grass Knot to Bart for this exact reason. Porygon's download ability helps here a lot as we are able to knock out Gyarados and Floatzel with an electric type attack, and then against his Quagsire just go into Bart to Grass Knot it, giving us our 5th gym badge without even using Empoleon in battle at all. I feel so much better now that we actually have other Pokemon, and once Eevee evolves into hopefully an Espeon, our team will get even better. At this point, I go back to give Eevee a massage since it's a new day as I started playing this part of the game, and then I follow the Team Galactic Grunt around to the lakefront where we meet Cynthia, who gives us the secret potion to move the Psyducks out of the way on Route 210. On that route, you can also find a shiny stone with your dowsing machine, but apparently you need Rock Climb to access it, so we can't evolve Togetic just yet. We can find one on Iron Island though, which isn't too far off from where we are now, so once I get to Kanalave City, I instantly take the ship to the Iron Island, meet Riley, get a Riolu egg for helping him, which is the last Pokemon we can also obtain in this no catching Pokemon run, find the shiny stone in the same Iron Island, evolve Togetic with the shiny stone into Togetic, then hatch the Riolu egg and name it Romulus. I couldn't think of any other name for a Riolu or a Lucario for that matter, so I just googled cool Lucario names and Romulus was one of the names listed. Romulus was the first king of Rome and I don't see how that relates anything with Lucario exactly, but I think it sounds cool. Riolu ends up evolving into Lucario before Eevee evolves though, as even though they both have similar evolutionary requirements, and I'm now realizing that this whole run is about friendship since all of these evolutions are friendship based, or maybe it's happiness. I get them all mixed up, but let's go with friendship for now since we can challenge Byron's steel type gym with our newly leveled up and evolved Romulus with the power of friendship and sweep his whole team without taking any damage even. After the gym, we have some weird lore stuff with the Sinnoh region in the library involving the lakes and an earthquake or something like that, and then we have to visit each of the 3 lakes in Sinnoh to lay down the law against Team Galactic, who are trying to steal the legendary Pokemon that live in those lakes. First stop is the Valor Lakefront, my favorite of all the lakefronts because of these funny flopping Magikarp you see when you come here. Then Lake Verity, where we have to rescue Dawn and defeat Galactic Admin Mars, and now all that's left is to head all the way up north through Mount Coronet and through the snowy north path into Snowpoint City, which is right near the 3rd lake. Eevee finally evolves into Espeon along this trip for once, learns Psywave via level up, which is cool, and I also taught it the Shadow Ball TM that I picked up not too long ago for more coverage. Unfortunately, we can't get into the lake yet since we need to be able to use Rock Climb outside of battle, and we can't do that until we beat the 7th gym leader and her Ice-type Pokemon. For some reason, I just can't seem to remember the name of this gym leader, but I know that Lucario will be great here too as it's a fighting and steel-type Pokemon, and Maylene also tells us that fighting types are good against her since she's in Snowpoint City too, since she likes to train with this gym leader. Bart the Togekiss helps out a little bit here too since it has Fire Blast for her Abomasnow, and Espeon with Shadow Ball does good damage to her ghost type Pokemon Frostlass, although it keeps spamming Double Team, which was super annoying, but I just keep hammering away with attacks to give us the 7th gym badge against whatever her name is. From here, we have a lot more story elements to take care of than I thought, like clear out the Team Galactic headquarters in Veilstone City, free the legendary Lake Trio, get lost in the Distortion World just to lose to Cyrus at the very end, and have to go back in and get lost again to defeat him the second time, where we also get a Master Ball that I instantly toss out since I am not catching Pokemon in this whole entire run, so I can't even use it. We eventually make our way into Sunyshore City finally, and convince the gym leader, Volkner, to actually be a gym leader and go back to the gym so we can challenge him for a battle. He has electric type Pokemon, and I don't really match up too well against electric types right now, so we might have to just brute force this gym with Lucario. This whole segment also took about 2 hours to record, and I'm just now realizing that all I have to show for it is about 5 lines of text in the script. I did try to battle Volkner without any real preparation, and I just lost terribly despite being a pretty decent level, and realized that I need some sort of super effective move to type trump his Pokemon and take care of the gym. One of the best ground type moves we could possibly get is Earthquake on Romulus, which we can luckily find the TM for back in the Wayward Cave near the Cycling Road. I then go back there to challenge Volkner after getting our new Earthquake TM, but I'll lead with West the Espeon first to try and get some cheeky KOs on his other Pokemon, before having to send out Lucario to Earthquake his whole team. This works out much better than I thought for us, with Earthquake taking us to his final Pokemon, Electivire, before Lucario finally falls. So I have to send out Pittsburgh the Empoleon to dish out the final blow, giving us the 8th and final gym badge in the Sinnoh region. All that's left now is the Elite Four and the Champion, so I decided to remove some of the useless HMs that we don't need before heading in there, since surprisingly we didn't even need to catch a proper HM slave in this no catching run, and once I make it out of Victory Road, I grind the entire team to about level 60 to match Cynthia as best as I can. And to recap the squad, which also happens to be all of the gift Pokemon in this game, we have our starter Pokemon, Pittsburgh the Empoleon, Bart the Togekiss, West the Espeon, Vista the Porygon, and finally Romulus the Lucario. First up is Aaron and his bug-type Pokemon, which Bart completely destroys with flies and ancient powers, although due to its hustle ability causing me to miss a few more times than I would have liked, and the pressure ability from his Vespiquen causing my PP to lower a bit more than it normally would, I exhaust a lot of our PP on our moves. After that is Bertha, which Bart continues to lay down the law against with Grass Knots, before I have to switch into Empoleon to knock out some Pokemon as well. Third up is Flint and his Fire-type Pokemon, which Empoleon starts off pretty well against, but due to his Sunny Days weakening our Water-type attacks, we have to switch out some other Pokemon. This battle was more of a team effort than I expected, with Espeon getting knocked out on his Infernape, and Lucario earthquaking some of his Fire-type Pokemon, with Bart killing his final Pokemon, Magmortar, with Grass Knot of all moves. Fourth up is Lucian, which Empoleon does well against at the start of the battle because I taught it Shadow Claw earlier, and Espeon pitches in here and there with some Shadow Balls, while Bart is able to knock out the Bronzong with Fire Blast. This also makes Bart one of the MVPs of our Elite Four run so far, as was able to take care of all of the Elite Four members pretty well, contributing a lot. This of course just leaves the champion, Cynthia. This is one of the most notorious battles in all of Pokemon, and I know I will probably have to rely a lot on healing items to get through her. On her lead Pokemon Spiritomb, I just brute force it with Lucario's Flash Cannons. Then on her Lucario of her own, I try to honor battle it with our Lucario, but unfortunately get knocked out, so I have to take care of the rest of it with Espeon. She shuffled in her Garchomp a couple of times here, interestingly enough, which did knock out my Espeon too and take a bit of chip damage here and there. But then she switches back into her Togekiss, which I take advantage of by using it to heal some of my other Pokemon and revive some of my other Pokemon, since her Togekiss doesn't really do that much damage to me. I taught Toxic to Espeon right before coming in here too, which helped a lot for her Garchomp to stall it out a bit, although she did use some full restores, but I just kept going for a Toxic after the full restores. And once her Garchomp falls, all that remains are her Milotic and her Roserade. Milotic can be a tricky Pokemon to take care of when NPCs have it due to its bulk and access to the move Recover, but luckily I have Grass Knot on Togekiss still, and it's enough to take care of it in about 2 or 3 shots. All that's left now is her Roserade, and since Togekiss is out of PP on every single move at this point except for Grass Knot, I have to revive up Espeon so he can side with it twice for the victory, knocking out her Roserade. This makes us the champion of the Sinnoh region, and with that, we beat Pokemon Platinum without catching any Pokemon, as weird as that sounds. This was a lot more fun to do than I thought when we started off, since to be honest, when we first started off, I considered just scrapping this because it was an Empoleon solo run, but once I got Togepi and especially Eevee, the run got a lot more fun since I had to focus a lot on friendship, which is something that I don't typically do in Pokemon games. That's one of the things I really like like about these challenge runs. They might not be difficult per se, but they do force you to think outside the box and play the game in a way that you normally might not have. It was a little weird not purchasing or even throwing one Pokeball in this entire playthrough, and although we only had access to 5 total Pokemon, they were all pretty good Pokemon in their own right. Now if you made it this far in the video and want to support the channel, consider leaving a like, as one like actually helps a ton. And also subscribe for more Pokemon videos since we're so close to that 100k subscriber milestone, and I really want to get there sometime in July. Thank you all so much for watching, have a great rest of your day, I will see you all next time, and bye bye.